give my bio here so Brian can take over. But I have a degree in exercise science and health promotion, and I am in the participant service side of Target Care. So I am always there to help you guys with any questions that you might have about the Target Care portal or wellness program, or your ROT assessments. But I love the option to present this to you guys and use a little bit of my fitness background to help others start their journey, or you might be in the middle of something and just looking to add on. I think that this is great for anybody, no matter where you're at. All right, Brian.
Awesome. Thanks, Paige. Yeah, so my name is Brian Garcia. I actually work alongside Paige in participant services. And a little bit about my background. I also have a degree in kinesiology or exercise science, and I was actually a personal trainer for a couple years. So, yeah, I've been in the fitness world for a little bit. So, I personally love it. So, and I love talking about it. So, I'm glad that we're here to help you out today and give some tips and tricks. And charters, I think we
Are
can
you
get
ready?
started.
Okay,
Yep,
perfect.
awesome. So quick little overview of what we're going to go over today in our presentation. We're going to go into the preparation of getting ready on your exercise and fitness journeys, go into goal setting and what a SMART goal looks like. We're going to talk about the action portion of once you actually start going into your fitness journey, give some quick tips and tricks, and then finish off with a Q&A at the very end. Awesome. So preparation. So it's really important to kind of assess your current fitness level before you start. And some of that stuff that includes is restrictions and injuries, for example, understanding if there's anything your body physically can do, like looking at your mobility, for example, or any past injuries that might be hindering you in certain aspects. Understanding your strength levels, knowing what weight you can push or can't push in the weightlifting realm, if that's the journey you're trying to go down, assessing your exercise space, understanding if what's available to you. Do you want to work out in the gym, at home? Are you going to be outdoors running or just out in an outdoor space working out? Understanding if maybe you need a little bit more accountability or support. Like, do you need a workout buddy? Do you need a personal trainer kind of guiding you along on your personal health journey? Or, just having like an accountability partner to help you stay on track? Understanding your starting point. So that's very important, just to understand where you are in the very beginning so you know how to progress effectively, and knowing how to measure your actual fitness endurance or fitness strength, depending on what you're trying to go for. And then finally, time availability, just being realistic with how much time you can commit to it, just understanding that consistency is key. It's a lot more important to work out 30 to 45 minutes a day than working out 2 to 3 hours every couple weeks. So just making sure you're consistent in your journey. Awesome. So goal setting. So I'm gonna go ahead and set out what a SMART goal is, because it's I'd say very beneficial to guiding you on your fitness journey. So what is a SMART goal? So S stands for specific. Your goal should be clearly defined and you should know exactly what you're looking to achieve. And measurable, how are you going to track your progress, and understanding that these numbers are going to help you stay motivated as you see that progression. A, attainable, set a realistic target for yourself that challenges you but is also achievable. R, relevant, make sure your goals align with your personal motivations, both internally and externally. And then finally, T, timely. So set a deadline to hold yourself accountable and measure progress along the way. Awesome. So a quick example of a SMART goal. Let's say you want to run a 5K. So for S specific, I want to run a 5K race on April 15th, 2025 in my local community. So now I'm setting out when my 5K is going to be. And measurable, I'll track my progress using a running app, aiming to finish under 30 minutes. So now I'm kind of taking this broad goal and shortening it a little bit. Now I understand I want to get under 30 minutes for my race, and I understand now how I'm going to actually track my progress throughout my training. A, attainable, I'll train for 3 times a week, starting with a mix of walking and running, then gradually increase my running time and distance over 8 weeks. So again, I'm now setting that time variable. I understand I have 8 weeks to train. I understand how I'm going to progress throughout my training journey, whether I start with just walking a couple miles out of the 5K, mixing in that walking and running up to hopefully running the full 5K mile or 5K race. And then R, relevant, completing a 5K supports my goal of improving overall fitness, endurance, and participating in a community event. So now I'm setting both an internal motivation and external motivation into my overall goal. So yeah, my overall goal is to run a 5K and complete it under 30 minutes, but it's also going to help me improve my overall fitness and endurance. And so that's an internal factor. And then the external factor is like, I'm just going to be participating in a community event with other people. And then finally, T, timely. So training will begin on February 28th, 2025, tapering 2 weeks before the race to ensure optimal performance by April 15th. So now I'm really cementing that goal. I understand when I'm going to start my training. I understand when I need to be ready by April 15th. That understands the inner workings of people and knows. So yeah, you set up your timeline pretty good now. So now you're ready to kind of go into that 5K and get it done, hopefully under 30 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Paige for the rest of the presentation.
All right. So we've covered what I would say is some of the most important part is setting your goal and just having a really good understanding of what it's going to take to get to that specific goal that you have set. So now you're ready to put it into action. You've gone through the preparation, you've set your goal, but now we need to make sure that we have everything that we need in order to begin working towards that goal. So if you think of it like, if you're running a 5K, do we need new shoes? Do we have the correct workout clothes? Do we need any equipment? So just having an understanding of what you may need before you start that. And then support. Do you need a workout buddy, a gym membership, or an online resource? Brian mentioned internal and external motivators, and sometimes we need a little mixture of both. There are people who are really internally motivated, but you also have people who are more externally motivated. I am about 50-50. I love working out with other people, but also I have that internal motivation to get up and do it every day or my set schedule. So now that we're ready to start, we can look into the types of exercise that are available to you. Now, when your SMART goal is like running a 5K, obviously the type of exercise may be more focused to cardio, but it is good to have a variety of types of exercise when you are starting a workout journey, or even if you are in the middle of one or have been doing something for many years. It's great to have a variety of exercise. So the types that we have are cardio, which obviously enhance the heart and lung health. Some examples of that are walking, running, cycling. You could do aerobics classes, and a lot of this can be done inside and outside. Then you have strength training, which builds muscle and supports joint health and improves bone density. And I always like to point out bone density, especially for us women as we age. Having strength training is extremely important for our bone density to prevent certain types of chronic diseases. So different types of training, you have body weight. So exercises would be like push-ups, squats, lunges, just using your straight up body weight. Then we can use free weights, which are going to be dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells. And then you have machines that are really set on one specific path. I always like to say if you do have machines available, it is a great way to learn a new movement or a new exercise in a safe environment. But a lot of exercises, you can also begin with just body weight as well, and then work your way up to machines or free weights. Having a mixture of all three types of strength training is really important, just so you're keeping some variety in the type of resistance. Then we have group classes, which is great for motivation and structure. So, you have motivation that you're surrounded by other people who most likely have the same goal as you. You have a set time that you have to be there. In a lot of classes, you have to book them as well. So those are three things right off the bat, external motivators that are really helpful. And then structure. You just show up to the class and the instructor is going to tell you what to do. So it's a great way if you don't want to think about your workout, if you don't know what exercises you want to do or might need a little help with how to do certain movements, a group class is really great. And then something similar to a group class would be a home workout with online programs or videos for convenience. The instructor is not necessarily with you, but will be helping you through that workout. And it's just another way that you don't have to think about what you are doing. One thing with home workouts, I feel like you have to be very internally motivated, but again, it is fun. You can invite a friend over, or maybe your spouse or partner are along this journey with you, and home workouts are a great way to get that done. Okay. And then we have some key strength training movements. So going back to the body weight, the free weights and machines, all of those can be done in using these 4 movements. So squats are our lower body strength. So it has our legs and glutes. It has, like, the front part of your leg is your quads. The back is your hamstrings, and then your glutes are obviously at your bottom. So squats are really great for lower body strength. Then we can move into a hip hinge, which is the movement for a deadlift or kettlebell swings. And one thing that I'd love to point out with hip hinge, and also into squats as well, is you always hear lifting with your legs and not your back. Using these movements, even in an everyday life, and understanding the correct movement is really helpful to avoid injury in the gym and out of the gym, because I'm sure we've all been there. You move a certain way and you're like, uh-oh, that was not good. So, if we're at home cleaning or moving or picking up something off the floor, it's really great to know the correct hip hinge and squat movement. It's just something that I like to point out. And then we have push, which are things like push-ups, bench presses, shoulder press, anything that you are moving the resistance away from your body or pushing it away from your body are going to be a push movement. Then we have pull, which is going to be pull-ups, rows. You could do lat pull downs, a bicep curl. All of those movements, you're pulling the resistance towards your body. So those are the 4 main movements when we're looking at strength training in an exercise program. And then some places where you can find resources. There are online libraries like the ACE Exercise Library. And I love this one because, one, it is somewhere like myself that I'm a certified personal trainer through. So it's a accredited association. So the resources that you find on there are going to be studied and good for you and relevant. So it gives you a lot of demonstrations of all types of exercises. Then you can go to some place like bodybuilding.com. They have a ton of exercises. I think they even have some workout programs on there as well, and a lot of articles on nutrition and recovery advice, which should not be ignored in any type of exercise program, whether you're doing strength training, cardio, any type. And then some options for YouTube that we would recommend are Ben Yanes, Fitness Blender, or HasFit. So those are all good options that you can find resources online. And then I know that a lot of us have social media, so I just like to put the disclaimer out there that everything that you see on social media may not be the best for you or the most beneficial for you. So I just like to remind people to, stop and think about the movement or the exercise that you see on, say, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and make sure that it is safe for you and fits towards your goal that you have for yourself. If you ever have questions about that, these are great resources that you can fact check and just make sure that it is something that you might want to try. Okay, and then we have tips and tricks here. So I'm all about working smarter and not harder. So I am all for them. And also, if you guys have tips and tricks to add to this, please let us know. We can share it with the group because not everything is meant for everybody. So starting a fitness routine can be daunting. So having smaller goals to celebrate your milestones on your way to your bigger SMART goal is always a great idea, especially if, you know, you have a really, really big goal that's going to take months and months to get there. Sometimes just having smaller milestones, one, helps your motivation because you're like, wow, okay, I met this one. And hopefully in a month with this smaller goal, I'll meet the next. And it just makes time go by a lot faster. Easier to stay motivated when you are having all of these positive milestones instead of ups and downs of trying to reach that big goal. And then having a workout buddy, always having somebody to join you. It helps with accountability. It helps with, you know, if you're starting a new fitness class or going to a new gym, it's just fun to have somebody there with you. I have somebody that I go to new classes with. And, you know, if it's a little embarrassing, it's okay because they're right there with you and might be feeling the same way. I've even been to a new class by myself and noticed somebody who was like feeling the same way as me. So finding that workout buddy to go with you, or maybe somebody there that looks kind, can be really helpful. Finding a gym or a space that you feel comfortable to work out in is really important. We want to feel like we fit in when we go there, not stick out. So just, you know, having an environment that you feel good in to work out is always good. And then having a plan. We kind of talked about that with the group fitness classes and online programs that you can find, is the instructor has everything, you know, ready for you. I always like to have a plan even before I go into the gym, say, you know, today I'm going to be doing a push day. So I'm going to be doing all of the chest press, the shoulder press, the push-ups. So having a plan when you go into the gym just helps you stay on track. You don't have to spend the time looking around at the machines to know which one we're going to do today, what body part we're working, so on and so forth. And then incorporating your goal into your hobbies is one of my favorite things. So if you love hiking or dancing, maybe you plan a little day trip or an hour or two to find a new trail near you to go hiking. I know dancing, my supervisor loves dancing. So on Fridays, she leads a group of people in the office in a little impromptu dance class. So just finding ways that your hobbies can be fun and beneficial to your goal is really nice. And then lastly, variety is key. So switching up your workouts to avoid boredom and keeping things fun, it just makes it so you don't feel like you're doing the same thing every single day. It also is really important to not injure yourself. If you keep doing the same movement over and over again, it just leaves a little bit more room to have an injury. But really, variety is just for fun. You don't want to get bored with your workout. If you feel like you're getting bored, it might just be time to switch it up a little bit. And then just to close before, you know, we open it up for questions, fitness, again, it's about consistency. It's not about perfection. If you can fit in 20 minutes a day or every other day is better than nothing at all. So wherever you can, you know, put that in. And then just establishing the routine and sticking to it. It might feel tough sometimes, but those external and internal motivators, they're going to help you get to where you need to be. And then celebrating the small victories along the way, it just helps a lot. Listen to your body. We just want to stay away from injuries. If you're tired, it's okay to feel tired. Maybe, you know, take a rest day, or maybe you just go on a walk that day. Whatever feels good to you, you know your body the best. But staying consistent and listening to your body, I think, are the two main things here.